Auckland City, home to nearly 1.4 million people. Beyond the bustling streets of the CBD lies the beautiful Hauraki Gulf. The islands of the Gulf contain some of New Zealand's oldest coastlines and many areas remain untouched. The Department of Conservation and the Motutapu Restoration Trust are working together to return Motutapu to its original natural state. Motutapu Island is estimated to be around 165 million years old. Neighbouring volcanic island Rangitoto erupted 600 years ago, covering Motutapu with a thick layer of fertile volcanic ash. Volunteers from the Trust have been planting native bush on the island since 1992.
Motutapu Island is very important as a conservation project because it is such a large island. It's 7 times larger than Tiriti Mautangi, and so the potential for return of native wildlife, it's huge. It's also very close to Auckland, so it gives the opportunity for Aucklanders to come experience some of New Zealand's rare and endangered wildlife, gives them an opportunity to get involved in hands-on conservation. So yes, Motutapu being a big island is really important.
Yeah, so you've got one? The guy's got
Well done. Now you should be able to get that out of the ground just by jiggling. Yeah, that's it. Well done, and you'll feel it coming. Well done. Find some more up here, I feel sure. So, but this is our I don't know. This is our real window. I mean, every single tree here has been planted by a volunteer, and it would be such a shame if it was left to go to weed. Okay, we're moving on up. So just let's do a little bit of a zigzag, and if you see it. The project started around 1994, but we weren't really aware of the weed situation. We weren't aware that the plants were growing beautifully, but the weeds were growing exponentially. So I suppose it started on a pretty ad hoc basis. There was a group of 4 of us who used to come over here and just fool around in the bush and take out a few weeds. But as you saw today, what have we got? 38 volunteers on a Sunday who've come over to take out moth plant, and in the couple of hours that we were doing it this morning, we've probably got 6 sacks of moth pods, which is just fantastic.
Originally, a friend of ours organised it for the Duke of Edinburgh award, but we sort of, once we'd finished that, we sort of just continued on coming because it's a heap of fun.
The leaders are awesome. I think their enthusiasm is like a real asset to the trust, and we were talking about it today when we were doing the weeding, just how much more you get into it and get out of it by having such enthusiastic people. Yeah, and they teach you heaps as well as you're doing it.
Centimetre above the ground. Yep. Just like if we don't weed, we won't have a forest. If the weeds take over, we're wasting our time planting. We nurture the seeds ourselves. It's not as though we go to King's Plant Barn and buy $1,000 worth of seeds or plants and then just bring them over to the island. We collect everything ourselves, we propagate it ourselves, and it would just be a waste of time doing all that hard slog if the weeds take over and we just would have nothing left. I mean, it's just as simple as that.
I'm the resident Motutapu representative. Also, I run the nursery here, which is my main job. Well, I'm just one small cog in a big chain, but this is the heart of our restoration project for Motutapu. We do about 10,000 plants a year, or 10 to 12,000. Well, for me, I've been lucky coming in the very early stages to seeing it from raw paddocks being converted.
Well, I was just really interested in doing restoration work on one of the islands, and looked up the website for Motutapu and found they had volunteers over here regularly, so it's about 2.5, 3 years ago I started. and come out here almost every 2 weeks.
It's a great island, and I really appreciate the work that they do here.
It's great because you can do weeding or you can do planting and the nursery all year round.
During the summer, the nursery is busy with propagating and preparing the plants. Weed busting, the removal of pest plants, takes place through all seasons of the year. It isn't until the winter when the tree planting starts, the biggest and most volunteer-intensive part of the Trust's restoration project.
This native forest has been planted over the last 17 years by thousands of volunteers. Volunteers have collected seeds, they've propagated them in the nursery, they've planted them out in this belly, they've gone back through the plantings and controlled invasive weeds, and now we're busy planting final phase species through there, the giants of the forest that'll be there here for 400 or 500 years. So this valley that you see in front of you, it represents thousands and thousands of volunteer hours.
It's a lovely place to be. It's a beautiful island. I can also see the fact that as volunteers, I believe we're doing good work over here, and that gives an immense amount of pleasure. It's giving something back, and hopefully our children's children will reap the real benefit of this place, which will be a marvellous sanctuary for all of New Zealanders.
If you would like to help, you can register online or call. Become a volunteer, sponsor or donor, and be a part of the future of Motutapu Island.